Hello friends, Josevich here. Welcome back to some Reno Lock in the mean streets of Gadgetstan. That's not the deck at all. And this is basically a deck that's going to be taking advantage of Reno Jackson and Kazakis to do nice and powerful things. And basically we're looking to kind of curve out with some of our early game here. And I would rather tap there than play Dark Peddler. There's no need to really play Dark Peddler, I don't think, at that point. So we have some of these low-costing minion cards, basically just in order to help us curve out exactly the way that we're doing right now. And then basically what this deck is looking to do is have a massive burst win condition. Now, most win conditions with this sort of deck will be using Faceless Manipulator with a Leroy. I don't own a Leroy Jenkins, so I'm not going to use one. I, unfortunately, hey, speak of Reckless Rocketeer, I use a Reckless Rocketeer, unfortunately. So, that's what I'm kind of stuck with here. Imp Gang Boss, actually, this is going to be a decent value with the healing. And I am tempted to coin out the Dark Peddler now, but I think we're kind of good and we can hang on. So the issue with this combo that we run here, most people will have Leroy and I have Reckless Rocketeer, is the fact that I need Reckless Rocketeer or Faceless to get hit with a... Well, that's going to be pretty bad for me. I need two pieces of my combo to get hit with Emperor Thorsan, basically. Which is sometimes an issue. There's another issue right now in that I don't have a way to kill this very easily. So, actually I don't have a way to kill it unless I'm willing to coin out a Fellfire Potion, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and Dark Peddler and hope I get something that deals damage. That's absolutely the best card that I could have gotten. 4 into coining Mortal Coil, which lets us continue to draw, and we get an Emperor Thorsan now to hopefully play on curve, which will be great. Of course, unless our opponent plays one now. Because, you know, this is not exactly a board that they're really threatened by, so they're not really forced to do that much. And if our opponent passes, well then we're going to be sitting in great situation. Well, I still like Thorsan here. We get our combo discounted in a bunch of really good cards as well, including a turn 7 Ragnaros, which might be needed to take out the Twilight Drake. Or at least part of the Twilight Drake, I guess I should say. And we now have a cheap Reno. We have our combo basically ready to go. Our combo sits only at 18, because we're sitting at a Reckless Rocketeer getting hit with a Power Overwhelming to go to 9, times 2 with a Faceless Manipulator, which is 18. So yes, we are actually kind of close to that position, but still not in a good way. Demon Wrath. Obviously, our opponent's not willing to let our Emperor Thorsan get 2 activations off, and you can't really blame him. Way too powerful if that sort of thing happens. Mistress of Mixtures will potentially slow us down a little. Doomsayer, I'm not willing to risk that. I have no problem throwing out a Rag when our opponent had such a hard time dealing with an Emperor Thorsan last turn. I imagine that they'll also have a hard time with Rag, unless, of course, they get a nice top deck, and Warlocks always have 2 top decks. And now they use the Siphon Soul, so that's kind of fine. Tapping again puts them very, very close to our 1-turn kill potential, and we have it, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and Kazakis. I wonder if I should just take a 5-cost spell, and if we get the direct damage, deal 5 damage, we can win basically next turn. And we'll summon a 5/5 demon, because I don't care about the armor. So, what we're sitting at right now is 8 damage on board, and 18 damage in hand, so that's up to 26. So basically, if our opponent is sensing that, they'll probably Reno. But if they're just going to Emperor Thorsan, they're going to lose. If they don't taunt, they still lose. Oh, the tauntage. And actually, that's still a loss, because I can just punch through the... Oh, but it's not a loss this turn, actually, so that's actually something I do need to be careful of. Yeah, because that's not a loss this turn. I wonder. No, I think it's just best to do it this way. Heals back up at a range is the only issue that I'm not happy with. I could Refreshment Vendor as well, healing them a little bit more. Let's tap first. Let's see what else we get. We could get some sweet stuff. Brand is not something I want right now. I'll go ahead and Doomsayer. We'll see how badly our opponent wants the board. And the great thing is, if our opponent ever does play Jaraxxus, the best card in the game, we will instantly win. And if they tap here and don't taunt, we also instantly win. So this is exactly 18. This is a 5 plus 4 goes to 9. 9 times 2 with Faceless Manipulator. 18. So if there's no heal from our opponent, if there's no taunt, well, it would have to be a killing Doomsayer plus a taunt. So as long as I don't mess up the order of this, we win right now. And it looks like we didn't mess it up, so that's a well played to our opponent. I really enjoy this deck. It's one of the really cool control pseudo burst decks that's really, you know, risen to power now that we have a couple extra Reno Warlock cards that can really synergize very well. If you're enjoying these types of videos, feel free to subscribe for more. I will try and mix in some shorter ones like this and the longer ones from yesterday. I know those are marathons for anyone who actually goes through them, and I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you tomorrow, or the next.